like we talked about at the top of the show, they pretty much just kept their livery. But I zoom in just on the nose there. The biggest difference of this season.
What's that H?
It was that H in the middle. That they finally made the change.
And usually the H stands for hot trash.
Yeah, well,
This one here?
yeah,
right there. That
Oh, I see it.
Honda powered
Honda.
for 2018. Boy,
And you know what? Fernando Alonso has to be cringing for the amount of reliability and pace that Toro Rosso has had in the first
yeah.
week of testing. What is it? I think Pierre Gasly did like 140 laps,
Yeah, I
and the
think
engine
it
didn't
was-
blow up, which is
Well, we have
Never happened.
We have the graphic of the most laps done by team.
Pierre Gasly did the most on day
yeah,
4.
he did. Well, let me check here.
I think it's 100 and
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so scroll down to the bottom. I think it shows you which team did the most laps. So that's fastest. Yeah, they're not going to be at the fastest laps per driver. That's for sure. Yeah, most laps
Toro
completed
Rosso,
per team.
326.
326.
They haven't had that, and they didn't change their engine once. They didn't. Oh, I mean, what we know of.
Yeah.
They could have done
I
it
think they
behind
were
closed
okay.
doors. I think they were fine. But I mean, like, how impressive is Honda turning up? Maybe they just didn't like McLaren, and McLaren blows a tire on their first day. I don't know if you saw the meme.
Yeah, yeah.
So their tire falls off. Their wheel. They had a problem with
There's
their
a
wheel,
wheel
nut.
nut. Yeah.
And there was Alonso like checking his tire to see what was happening,
Mhm.
and then the next picture was like a Honda branded tire.
Oh yeah. yeah.
I said, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Poor Fernando.
But I'm impressed to see what Honda can do, and maybe McLaren made the wrong decision. Maybe Toro Rosso knows something that McLaren doesn't, and who knows if they have this reliability? Do we see Red Bull, the big team, take this in the future and step away from the Renault powered car that they
Yeah.
have right now?
Well, Brendan Hartley said something interesting, which was that last year Toro Rosso was using obviously Renault engine, Renault
Yeah.
supplying quite a few teams, but now Honda's the only one supplying, one team. So he was saying, pretty much along the lines that they can put a sole focus onto developing the engine just for this one team. So they're not sort of, distributing it unevenly, or, this team's getting a little more here, this team's getting a little more there. So you got this one, engine manufacturer that can just solely focus on one team. And I think so far, by the looks of it, they've been able to work together in a good partnership that, for whatever reason, McLaren, just wasn't able to figure out. And again, this is just testing, but the fact that they were I think they completed more laps, in like one day than McLaren did the past like 3 years.
Yeah,
In
which is
terms of testing.
unbelievable. And I'm really interested to see how Toro Rosso does this year. I think they're going to be another mid-pack team like they usually are.
Yeah.
Now that they don't have, a reduced engine, because we would see before Toro Rosso in years past, they'd start off the year very well because their engine would be somewhat up to date, but then they
Right.
wouldn't get updates the rest of the year, and they'd slowly fall behind. Now that they have a Honda engine behind them, I wonder if we see them, be more consistent in terms of their results throughout
Yeah.
the year. And I mean, that'd be great for Brendan Hartley, who's I'm really a fan of, who's come up, and
Yeah.
he's done very well, and seems like a smart guy on the roster as well.
Yeah.
On the grid, I should say.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of experience, and he was trying to get to. I thought he looked way younger than he was, but I
No,
think
he's in his 30s.
Yeah, he's in his 30s, so he's been racing, I think, WEC for quite a while.
I know he had a big. He used to be a Porsche driver. I know he was with Porsche for a
Yeah.
long, long time.
Yeah, so definitely, I think that it's an interesting driver lineup. I mean, it was weird what they did with Kvyat last year. I thought that was,
Every
should've-
time Kvyat gets demoted, Max Verstappen wins a race.
Yeah, well, now he's with with Vettel at Ferrari, as the test driver. But
Oh, is that where he is now?
yeah. So
I just thought he fell off the face of the earth.
no, they kept him in. I mean, I don't think he'll get any type of drive there with Ferrari. But yeah, I think the driver lineup it's an interesting one. We'll see what Gasly can show over a whole year. It's hard to judge those guys just based on last season coming in, and they had some horrible reliability issues
Yeah.
toward the end of the season. So
Horrible reliability issues.
And then they
now
moved
they're with
to-
Honda.
But I don't know. I hope Honda can sort of just figure it out. I think they changed, management and who's leading
Yeah.
their Formula One side there.
Which is
so.
best case, because that
Yeah.
was just a disaster for 2-3 years, whatever it
It's-
was.
yeah,
with McLaren.
It just got almost, tired of talking about it,
Yeah.
race after race.
Well, he felt
but-
bad for Alonso. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a guy with so much talent, and I mean,
And he was still doing some pretty good drives. I mean, he had a fastest lap, here and there, and then, P7, P8. But, I mean, it was just, I think it was just, a joke sometimes. It literally was, with Alonso too, over the team radio and stuff. It was just like a joke, about the power and the reliability.
This is an FP2 engine.
yeah.
FP2 engine.
Yeah,
this is a joke,
exactly.
guys. Like, well, they can only do so much for
Yeah.
poor Alonso. I mean,
So I'm happy that they've moved on, and hopefully Honda can find a new home with Toro Rosso.